Hello and welcome to all the viewers. So this is nothing but the continuation of our HyperMesh tutorial. So in this video we will going to discuss about how to perform three-dimensional hex dominant mesh with the help of HyperMesh. So before going to perform the meshing, we will just let you know that we already created few HyperMesh tutorials, like starting from the introduction, then you can find that few surface edit as well as quick edit options. Then you can see surface editing, surface trim, then how to create a component, how to perform the surface mesh, shell mesh, or you can say the 2D mesh. Then you can see furthermore how to perform the rule mesh. And in previous video we discussed about how to perform the solid editing as well as component creation. So before going through present video, we will request you just have a look on this previous tutorials, and also you just go through this last tutorial where we discuss about how to perform the splitting so that we can create the 3D sweep or a hex mesh. Okay, for that we will need a splits. So you can see over here, like we perform the various splitting operations. So in order to perform the hex mappable mesh, you should have geometry which is mappable. So let's go to our present tutorial. So now we are in our HyperMesh and we already imported that our last model. So let's go to 3D topology, and here you can see that whatever the geometry splitting we perform in last operations, so there are different solids we splitted, and you can go to here like mappable. So when you click on mappable, you will find that the sweepable geometries, you can see from this the whole hex nozzle is sweepable as well as bottom parts, and this can also be performed, or you can say this can also be captured with the help of solid mesh options. So let's go to 3D topology and let's start the meshing option. So before going to meshing, so I will just show you the roughly. Let's put here the sizing. So here you can define the sizing, and here you can select the respective element shape. Like if you want to perform the hex mesh, then it is suggested that you should use the chord mesh. If you want to perform the tetrahedron, then you need to use the trias, and mix can be used for a hex or sweep also. Okay, and there are also right angle trias which are useful for a circular surfaces. Okay, so let's just do some mesh over here. Now if you see that mesh, so I will just put it 3 recall mesh. So now you can see that the mesh is not properly chord one. So in order to make that, we need surface splitting. So for that, let's go to geometry, quick edit. So now from quick edit panel, we will split that surface. So let's go to here, split surface with the help of node to line. So let's click on the node and select this point and select bottom line, and you can see that the green line is created. Similarly repeat for this, similarly repeat over here, and let's see. So what I did, I just splitted that surface so that we will create the proper chord mesh. Okay, now let's finish this, and here you can even create here also splits if needed. So let's go to 2D auto mesh and let's define over here like 2, and let's put over here. So you just need to select the surface. Now you can see that the mesh is created. Now we will adjust the density so that the numbers are equal on either side. So I will make it I want 6 elements over the fillet region, so let's put 6, and also I want here 4 elements, so let's put over here 4, and here you can increase 5. Similarly here I want 3, so let's put 6, okay, 5. So now you can see that these tools are properly caught, but here you will find that these are not created a chord mesh, though we created the same mesh size like 5 5 4 4. So in that case you just need to go to mesh style, and here you will find that there are different options, like you can make it chord, trias, similar options which we discussed earlier. So what I want that face as a chord only. So you just click on the set all, so that you can see that here it is going to be set as a chord, and let's mesh. So once you will click on the mesh, you will find that is created, that 2 trias are created, 1 chord. Okay, now let's go to return. So now you can see that our mesh is created. So now in which component it will going to move? It will going to move in a shell component. So here on base you can see that which component is active one. So you need to make it flange, or you need to make it first nozzle as an active component. Okay, so for that either you can move this into the relevant component, or you just do one thing, mesh, reject mesh. So let's perform furthermore the same steps which we did earlier. I want 3 here, 3 5 4 4 5, and let's go to mesh, set all mesh. Okay, there are few more options like biasings. So biasing, basically if you want to move, we will discuss over here that biasings, and here the few quality checks you can even define here. This quality checks options, we will cover this separately in a separate video. Okay, now let's go to return. Now let's create here mesh, and now you can see here our mesh is created. So what I will do now, I will just explain you the biasing. So what does it mean? It means that suppose if you want to create here biasing, you can see that these respective elements are moving nearer to that face. So let's click further, so you can see like, okay, and just click. You need to use your left and right mouse button. So now I am making negative, I am moving that with this. Similarly let's put here minus 1.4. so now you can see that this will be gradually growing. Let's make it wire from this face to this face. So this biasing is basically required when we have a fine mesh near junction and we want make coarser mesh away from the junction. In that case we need to use this biasing options. Okay, let's put recall mesh. So I'm just making here. So here also you can define, like suppose if you want to one, just click over here, just click over here. So likewise you can even define with the help of these options, and if you want to define for all, just here set to all, and here you can define. So let's put it 0 recall mesh. Okay, that is all about our biasing. Now let's do further. Here I will make it 5, and here if you want the density, like I want 40, here reject, here we can define that, here 40 and here 40. Okay, now that is done. Now let's do another one. Select all these 3 faces, click on the mesh, and if you want to make coarser, because flange is not that much critical part, so I will make it 10, sorry, reject mesh. So let's make it 3. These are basically the element size, and this is basically the edge if you want to make respect to edge as a 10, right? And here I want 10, here I want 10. So likewise, if suppose you want 10 over here also, you can define. And this reason you can see that, let's make it 12. Click over here, click over here, 12. And here you can see that the mesh is not that much good. So what we will do, we will make it call set all mesh. Now you can see that this mesh is quite better compared to this one. Here basically the transition is there. If you want a smooth mesh, so in that case you need to make it 5 over here and then go with the 5 mesh. But I think this mesh is also quite good at this respective location, and this is away from the junction, so we should not worry for the flange location. Okay, once your 2D mesh is done, then you can do like any face, the sweepable face. Basically either you can make this face or another face. At that face you can perform the mesh, like I will show you over here. Let's put here 3 mesh, and let's make it 40. I want 40 elements here, okay, and here 5. So what we will do, we will make it 5, right? Mesh. Now what we did, we created the mesh on the face, and also we created the mesh on the sweep, or you can say on the path. So now in order to perform the 3D mesh, you just need to go to 3D, and here there are different options like line drag, element offset, drag spin, linear solid mesh. We will discuss one by one. In present video we will going to discuss about the solid map and one volume. So basically this is very simple method in order to perform the 3D hex dominant or sweepable mesh. So for that, only the requirement is that you should have proper splitted geometry. Okay, so here you can define the element size, and accordingly you just click over here and just click on the mesh. So here it is showing that no solid selected. So first select the solid, click on the mesh. Now you can see that here it is performing the respective mesh operation. Okay, so now you can see that it created the respective mesh. Okay, it is as simple as that. So now let's do one thing, let's do mesh for this reason also. Mesh, and if you go for the mesh, so now here we haven't done any 2D mesh. So on what basis it will going to map that, or it will going to perform the sweep mesh? It will going to perform based on the element size which we have given. So now if you see here, it is quite coarser at this location, and if you see at this here, it will going to perform based on our mesh size. Okay, so let's do further over here. Mesh, let's do further this region. Mesh, and let's do further here. Okay, mesh. Suppose if you have created a different 2D mesh at this face and different 2D mesh at this face, in that case this method will not going to work, because it should have the same mesh on either faces, right? Now let's do similar mesh, and let's do the similar mesh at this faces, at this solids. Okay, now you can see that we created you can say a good amount of, or you can say here you can see this, how the transition is happening. So this is called the hex dominant mesh. Okay, now what to do for these remaining faces? So for these remaining faces, you can even extrude this face and you can create a patches like that in order to perform the good mesh, or else you just go to 2D auto mesh and let's make it 5 and just do step by step. So first let's select this topmost face. So you need to select the outer face, right, and just do the mesh. Reject. I think we split it one edge. Let's make it toggle, untoggle. Okay, and now let's do the mesh, 2D auto mesh, and now you can see that here, if you want try or if you want chord, you can make it accordingly. If you want chord, set all, mesh, right? Likewise you can create a mesh or reject, and you can go to quick edit, and here you can define washer split, define the value, and let's put here, click over here, reject. So basically it will create washer in inner and outer face. So let's see if it will work for this reason. If we will make it 10, okay, it's creating here or inside or outside, but we want more patches over here. So in that case you can even define higher values over here, or else you just do further splitting like quick edit and go here, select and just select the face, right? Similarly over here, select the first point on this edge and just select the another point of node and nail. Similarly repeat on the other side, select that respective node, select the line, similarly repeat the same, select the line. Okay, and if you want further, you can just create node, split this face, select that node, split this face, similarly on this face. So I'm just creating a rectangular patch, smaller patch. So if you see here, 2D, first face, second face, third face, another fourth face. Okay, so now we can see here we created, just I will make it chord mesh, and you can see that we have created a chord mesh at this respective face. Okay, just reject. If you want to increase the size, make it 7, recall, mesh, so you can mesh accordingly. And furthermore, let's do the remaining faces, perform the 2D mesh for the remaining face. The logic is simple. You first need to perform the 2D mesh and then map that to one volume. So I will put here 7, or even go step by step like 8, or let's make it 9 and mesh. So now you can see that I will make it set all, mesh. You can here make proper split like this and then do this proper chord mesh, or else this mesh is also okay. Okay, now let's go to 3D, and here if you want you can activate your shell, and let's go to 3D, furthermore solid map, and use one volume. So there are different options like solid. If you can define your surface, source and destination also you can define. Here you can define the element size. I will make it 8, and I will just select the solids mesh. So now it will create the solid mesh. Okay, now similarly see here mesh, similarly repeat for this mesh. Okay, so it is based on you, like how you want to create as patches over here, or how you can create further patches like here. So basically our critical region is nearby nozzle shell junction, so here you should have a proper mesh. Remaining region is okay, like hub location is also critical. Flange you can go with coarser, even at the bottom of the shell you can go with the coarse mesh. So let's define here 10, and if you want you can make it mesh. There is no need to do 2D mesh. So now if you see here, it by default it created one single element because we defined the 10, and here it created it took the proper 5 elements. That is because of the element. So for that just reject this, return, go to 2D mesh, auto mesh, and just define this whatever the mesh you want. So if you want to make 5 elements across the thicknesses, so let's, okay, now you can see that here we created a 5 elements. So now you have a mesh which is similar to all the region. Now let's go to 3D solid map, and here you just select one volume. We are only using one methodology. Now it will create a proper 10 elements, right? So that is the logic behind first to perform the 2D mesh and then to perform the 3D mesh. Okay, now let's repeat on this side. Now what do you think on this side, whether it will create 5 elements or not? Here on this face there is 5 elements, on this face there is 5 elements, so logically it should create a 5 elements further. Okay, now let's repeat last face mesh. Now you can see here we completely perform our mesh options. Okay, now let's go to component, and here you will have, this is the shell, all the elements are moved on the shell. Let's hide this, and you can see that these are the shell elements. This is nozzle, and this is the flange. Okay, now here there are 2D as well as 3D elements are there. So how to check that? Go to mask panel, and here you will have the option called to check the various elements. So let's hide first 3D, and here you can see that where we created 2D mesh, first select, it should show the geometry. Go to geometry, just keep on all the geometry options, go to mask, and here you can see like where we created 2D mesh, it will show all to us. Okay, so now let's go to delete element displayed and delete that elements. Okay, so we don't want 2D elements, we want only 3D elements. So now you can see here our all 3D elements are created. Now you want to hide the geometry, you can hide from here. So now there are different options further, like if you are performing analysis from here, you can perform, or you can apply the loading as well as boundary conditions. And then here, as we discuss one option, that is solid mesh, and here you can have a different 2D mesh options. I think we already covered the 2D mesh options, and now we covered the 3D solid map. In next video we will cover the remaining tetra mesh and other options of to perform the 3D mesh. And the next video, very next video, we will perform how to apply loading and boundary condition, how to create a deck for the ANSYS Okay, what we will do, we will create here a different node sets like entity sets. We will check the node connectivity, and then we will apply the inner pressure, internal pressure. We will apply the nozzle forces and movements, and then we will carry that deck in a ANSYS Classic. Okay, so you just need to follow all the process for this nozzle shell junction, like from solid editing, this now mesh. Now next we will create a deck, FEA deck, and then we will go to ANSYS Classic. There we will discuss about how to perform the finite element analysis for this respect to nozzle shell junction. So that's it guys for the present video. So let me know your comments. I'll be there to help you. Okay, bye bye, take care.